Ladies and gentlemen, what is up, and welcome to today's video where we're going to be talking all about Hyperion and giving you all the pro tips that I have on Hyperion. I like to consider myself an alright Hyperion player. I believe by far on the YouTube channel we have the most efficient kill by a landslide against Realm of Legends Winter Soldier. So when it comes to playing Hyperion and kind of optimally utilizing this character's like crazy damage mechanics, I kind of like to think, that I know my stuff when it comes to this. But anything that I miss out, guys, or any additional pro tips, feel free to leave them in the comments. But yeah, today we're going to be talking about the rotation of this character, kind of different ways to play him in different matchups and scenarios, and also stuff that you should generally avoid doing when playing Hyperion. So yeah, let's talk through his abilities and kind of talk about all the stuff that they do. So I guess the first thing, of course, is talking about his Awaken ability, which is Cosmic Potential. So basically, Hyperion's eternal physiology becomes more efficient at storing and converting cosmic radiation, resulting in increased buff duration up to 50% at max dupe level, which is dupe level 99. So this is very useful for kind of two components, having him awakened at a decent level. Kind of anything above like level 19 is pretty sufficient for Hyperion, but above 39, the levels, they start to become pretty useless. So yeah, that's kind of all you really need there, but this kind of gives you two little additional pros. So it increases the amount of power you gain and also increases the duration of your fury, which this has a very powerful combination with the best synergy team, which is the triple black bolt synergy team, which we'll talk a little bit about later, in really kind of making Hyperion's damage insane in certain quests that you might want to focus your Hyperion on. So that's something to kind of bear in mind from the get-go. So the next thing as well is Hyperion is poison immune. If you didn't already know that fun fact, he's exceptional for any poison lanes in Alliance Quest, and by far the best cosmic champion. So his heavy attacks have a 40% chance for fury, increasing his attack by just over 50% of his base attack for 10 seconds, but with kind of again the increased fury duration via signature ability, and also the triple black bolt signature ability synergy team, you can actually get this to roughly, I think it's like 25 to 27 seconds fury. So yeah, you can make this very powerful, very insane in terms of the amount of fury stacks you can have. I think the most amount of fury stacks I've ever seen on a Hyperion, I think is 17, and that was just some insane luck there. But yeah, in the Winter Soldier kill video that we've got on the channel, I believe it goes up to 13, 14 a couple of times. But yeah, very powerful synergy with the character. The special attack 1 has, I think it's 5 hits and incinerates the enemy. Has a, it's not 100% chance to incinerate them actually, as far as I'm aware, at least from experience, so the wording on this isn't correct, and this is something that's kind of a little bit apparent throughout Hyperion's abilities and stuff, is he's probably like one of the worst described characters in the game, because it doesn't really tell you too much about him, because again, the heavy attacks, there are actually 5 components to that, so that is a lot of stacks of fury instead of just one swift heavy attack like a lot of other characters. And yeah, special attack 1, I'm not too sure the chance on that. I think it's a 50% chance to incinerate, dealing energy damage over 10 seconds, and that effect removes perfect block chance and reduces block proficiency. There aren't many scenarios where you want to actually use the special one. Ideally, it's kind of only in stun immune matchups and maybe finishing off the fight that you want to spam the special one, and we'll talk about that later. But most of the time, you're going to find yourself repeatedly firing off the Special Attack 2. So the Special Attack 2 has a 60% chance to stun for 4 seconds. And basically, the rotation, and I'll link the Winter Soldier kill video, is generally what you kind of want to ideally get into this rotation of using the Special Attack 2 and then getting off a heavy attack and then doing kind of another round of combo just on the tail end of your stun there. And then hopefully that'll get you to another Special 2 and then fire off, hopefully rinse and repeat just over and over again. And if you can get into a good rotation of that, then like it's insane. You can keep the opponent's stun lock sometimes, but again, it isn't 100% chance to stun, and it's not really worth using any of the synergies like the She-Hulk one or the Hulk and Black Widow one to increase that chance, because it's not really too effective. You're better off a lot of the time either going for the Black Bolt synergy or the X-Men synergy, or maybe you're an Alliance quest and you don't have any synergy at all there. So yeah, that's kind of the optimal rotation rotation a lot of the time is trying to get your heavy attacks in, because it's just such a significant increase to your attack. Like, that attack bonus is absolutely huge, and especially when you have the character awakened, you know, even without synergies, it's going to last 15 seconds, and most of the time you're going to get like at least 2 to 3 stacks of it of every heavy attack. So you kind of got to think of like every heavy attack you're doing, it's pretty much like doubling your character's damage. So it's kind of the mentality you've got to go in. But the first thing before you use any special 1 or special 2 attacks in anyone is you need to build up to the special 3. So the special 3 is a little bit odd, because none of this is actually what any of the text that you're seeing here isn't actually true. He actually doesn't have a cosmic overcharge mode. So when you use his special attack 3, he will gain 3 cosmic charges, and what these charges do is they give him again attack exactly the same as Fury, and also a bit of physical resistance. And then after the special 3, you're going to have these 3 stacks, and they're basically going to continually convert the power. They're going to go to 2, and then 1, but they're just going to keep, the cosmic overcharge thing is going to keep on recharging and keep on replenishing that, but you'll find like after a minute, you'll eventually run out of these cosmic charges. And there's no such thing as cosmic overcharge mode. There was even a post like a month or so ago on the forums saying it, so yeah, it's a really, really odd thing, but that mode does not exist on Hyperion, but it's one of the things you want to kind of weave into your rotation, like roughly once every minute and a bit is using a special 3 attack, and sometimes, because Hyperion's power gain is pretty insane, you're going to get to that special 3 on your own anyway, accidentally. So yeah, it's not really the end of the world, but it's something to try and manage there. So what do we have next? So we have Cosmic Healing. So Cosmic Healing is honestly like the worst thing you can do for Hyperion. So basically, this is right after you've used your special 3. If you have 3 Cosmic Charges, you can convert them all into a tiny regeneration. Even when Hyperion is awakened, this is like barely 20% of his health, and it's over 15 seconds, so it's over a very long period of time. And if you get this regeneration, it's gonna not allow you to trigger any cosmic charges for 45 seconds, so that is basically just going to completely ruin your damage and game plan when it comes to actually like tearing through the opponent on Hyperion. So having played Hyperion in pretty much every possible scenario, like Alliance Quest, questing in general, like on huge boss fights, there is no scenario that I believe that, you know, it's a good idea to use Cosmic Healing on, unless you maybe want to do it right at the end of the fight, but like, you know, a lot of the time it's just not worth it. It's just such a minuscule heal that you're better off ignoring it. So yeah, that's pretty much the rotation. So it's kind of get to the special 3, then fire off that special 2, and then use a heavy attack and go to the combo if you feel like you can land another special 2. But if you can't land another special 2, you maybe want to get in a second heavy attack to get even more stacks of Fury. If your opponent is stun immune or has something like Limber, then maybe the plan is just to spam at the special 1. So that's something to do. If you can't, you know, get in those stuns and then get off the heavy attacks, then that's probably the scenario where you want to spam the special 1. But again, that's a little bit RNG dependent. I think Hyperion as a whole, you know, you do need to consider that, like, this champion, like, there's so much variance in the damage, so much stuff that could happen, whether you get the stun, not get the stun, whether you get, like, sometimes you can do a heavy attack and get 5 Fury stacks, and that'll give you, like, you know, 2,500 and a bit additional attack, and sometimes you can do the heavy and get no stacks of Fury. So there is so much variance in Hyperion's damage. So yeah, there's a lot that can go right and wrong on this. But yeah, that's pretty much generally the rotation. If he's stun immune, is you just get to the special 3, and then you can just keep on spamming at the special 1. And that actually works quite well in a lot of matchups, because it's a common tactic for people who may be a little bit newer to intercepting, for having, like, when the enemy's coming at you, just be ready with that special 1, just press that, and that will automatically intercept the enemy. And if you don't know too much about intercepting, I definitely suggest checking out Dork Lessons' video. So in terms of masteries, I don't think there is anything like super special or anything you want to build around for Hyperion. Even like the increased Fury duration isn't really enough in my opinion. Maybe in certain matchups and certain scenarios, if you want to like fully focus on Hyperion, you know, maybe you might want to drop some points in something like Mystic Dispersion, which would not benefit Hyperion at all, and kind of put those into the increased Fury duration and potency stuff. But it's not going to make a huge difference. Maybe a little bit, but, you know, not really enough to kind of see a huge improvement in the character, but just for any of you min-maxers out there. And in terms of the team setup, via like a lot of extensive testing I did, trying to get like the most crazy efficient kill on Realm of Legends Winter Soldier, I found that, you know, if you just want to tear through some big bosses, you want to use triple Black Bolt. So that is a 4-star, 3-star, and a 2-star, and each one of those comes combined with a Cosmic Supremacy synergy, which basically increases the duration of Hyperion's Fury buffs, and this will stack 3 times and just give him, like, again, very close to like 25 to 27 seconds Fury duration, so very powerful there. And then you want to eat Ronin basically just to trigger that synergy, and also gives him a little bit more crit damage. But apart from that, that's pretty much it when it comes to Hyperion pro tips and kind of, you know, what I wish I knew when I started the character. So if you want to see the Realm of Legends Winter Soldier kill and take down Hyperion, which I really do suggest watching, as it will show you practically kind of everything we've explained and talked about in this video and how to pull that off. That will be in the description below. Definitely give it a watch, because after watching that video, hopefully you should be pretty savvy at playing Hyperion after hearing all the explanation of everything as well. So yeah, apart from that, ladies and gentlemen, if there's anything that I've missed, feel free to leave them in the description below. Apart from that, hope you enjoyed this Hyperion pro tips video. Take care and have an absolutely fantastic day.